Hey folks, it's Mark here from the Digital Nexus podcast and Not Centralized, and also the Australian DeFi Association, which I just ran a meetup for. It is the 27th of the 3rd. I had to look at the time and the date. It is one of those blurry kind of moments when there's so much going on. We're talking about the AI space. Two big things that I just wanted to share with you, good folks out there, that you may or may not be aware of, and especially if you're not aware of it, it's really interesting stuff. So first of all, and this is why we're just doing a short one here right now, where there's no podcast this week. We'll be back on that next week with Digital Nexus podcast with Chris and with the special guest Ned. Introducing 4.0 image generation. This is the really interesting one because OpenAI, when I first heard about this, it's like, okay, we've got image generation. They've done this kind of stuff before, but now we've got a model that can actually be consistent with the words, the text, the images. It used to be that using Stable Diffusion, you would do things where it would actually just create a likeness. You would say, hey, create something with these words, and the words were really horrible. It just didn't actually, it tried to form what it thought were what words look like, but it wasn't quite the same thing. And sometimes you could do it as the models evolved, but really just simplistically, so you can get some of the words correctly, not all of it. But now you've got this thing where you can have AI actually add proper text. You can get it to create characters consistently, which was not something that you could do before. There was a lot more roll of the dice. So really interesting stuff here. So you can see there's words that can be properly understood. You can even take an image here. So here we go. You can take an image here. So just sharing, maybe oversharing. Here's me as a baby. You'll be able to see that. Take this photo and make it a Studio Ghibli style for the fans of anime. So it's going to take that photo of me with my gigantic head there and with the crocheted Big Bird, Ernie, and Bert there. Really funny. Ernie smiling, and Bert is just Sourpuss Bert, as he is in the show. So this will whir away and work in the background. If we go back to it here, so you can see the types of things that are there, the examples of what you can do. So there's the cat. Keeping consistency. Give this cat a detective hat. You can do that now. So turn it into other styles of art. Keeping that character consistent. This is nuts. This is crazy. I had to share it. This just came out today. If you're using ChatGPT, I didn't have to get into a wait list and hopefully get lucky. As you will see from the previous episode, Chris, who is my partner here for the Digital Nexus podcast, he was able to get early access to Manus. So he's on that. So really great stuff that's there. So let's see if this is completed. All right, it's just working away. So remember the old days of the internet where you used to have lines just come up at a time? Same kind of thing going on here. Let's see if it's figured out. Yeah, it's created me. And there's the little side characters, so you can do this for your photos. You can get it to create something from scratch. I'm keen on doing this for diagrams, things related to work. This is just another game changer, an efficiency gain, an improver, something that will just be part and parcel with how we use AI in the future. So, have fun with that one. And then the other one that I thought was really interesting, just given that so many people are speaking about this on YouTube. A lot of my favorite YouTubers here is Theo, Google One. He's calling it the rumors were true. Gemini 2.5, just 8. Every other AI live. CNBC is talking about it. As good as Sonnet. A lot of stuff on Gemini 2.5. Is it RIP to a model that just came out, which was being held as a great model in Sonnet 3.7 from Claude and Anthropic? Interesting. There's some takes on it that I've heard where, and you can see here, this is the announcement from Google and Gemini 2.5, their most intelligent AI model. The speed, not the speed, I think it was more the reasoning and the cost at which you get that reasoning. I think they've just entered the market and just said, hold my beer, thrown down the gauntlet. There's a whole lot of interesting things in here. You can see the prototypical sort of like benchmarks against other models that are always shown. The proof is in the pudding, and people that have been using it, as you can see from the YouTube highlights before, or the the bevy of videos that are out there talking about this, that this is a game changer. The speed, the cost at which this kind of reasoning and this intelligence is available, and making it available by API. I think I saw something where there's about 50 calls that you can make per day. But just like with OpenAI and just like all of these innovative models, that when they first come out, it might be a little bit limited, and then it just becomes much more mainstream. The cost reduces as well. The limits in terms of how many messages you can send and API calls you can make, that changes over time. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you Gemini 2.5 and also 4.0 image generation from ChatGPT that you can check out right now. And if you're interested in all the things in terms of AI, we'll talk a bit about blockchain stuff as well, where I can share that. Make sure to check out the Digital Nexus podcast, and I will see you soon. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Cheers.